here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Christina joining me. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Amanda. Hello, everyone.
Hey guys, Christina is new with us. She's not new to coaching, but she is new to Create Your Future. We're really happy to have her. So we've got a really exciting video, how to get rid of the third party. And we got a success story that she's going to share from one of her previous clients. And just before we dive into it, guys, Christina is having a sale on her coaching. So if you do want to get rid of the third party or help finding your block, she's definitely going to be able to do that. She knows her stuff. She's absolutely amazing. And guys, guess what? We've got a new mailing list. So if you guys like sales, discounts, and deals, or to find out when Katie's meditations are coming out or anything like that, you know what, definitely check out the link in the description. Sign up for our MailChimp, our mailing list, because you'll be the first to know of any deals that we have. Everybody likes a sale. I love a sale. And yeah, we're going to put all the sales out there. So if you guys want to be in the loop for that, then please definitely, if you don't want to know about our sales, don't sign up. We're okay with that. We just want to be able to wait to, you know, offer a discount when we're able to. So yeah, and guys, you know what? We're running a contest. We get to 100,000 subscribers. We're giving away some free coaching sessions. The details are in the description below. And yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. And guys, I have a course, Create the Relationship You Love. It's to recreate anybody, using everyone as you pushed out, and a mental diet. It's a really great course, lots of great feedback. So yeah, let's dive into it now that we got all that out of the way. And yes, I only mention it, guys, because people do email in and ask us if we offer coaching, and they do email in to ask us if we offer courses, and people do email us to ask if we are offering discounts. So, you know, we do this because people email in asking us for it. So yeah, awesome. Welcome, Christina. I'm so excited for this success story.
Thank you for having me. So my client, she was in a situation with an SP. They were like 2 years on and off, friends with benefits, and she wanted to take the next step and get into a committed relationship with that SP. And she was more like before meeting with me more into the spiritual realm, like in tarot readings, horoscopes, and she had, even though, lost a lot of money and no real success with the stuff. So that's when she stumbled upon LOA, and she found me. And when we first met, she was telling me about the situation with the SP. He didn't make her a priority, and at that day, she told me that he even didn't reply her calls and texting back. So she was in a very triggered and emotional state of like crying, and she didn't know how to change the situation. And what I immediately saw in her, she was in a really big state of victim mindset, like seeing her as piece separate from her, that she doesn't have any power to change the situation. And yes, I asked her about her assumptions, how she perceives her SP and men or relationships in general, and how she thinks that her SP is perceiving her. And what we found out was that she had some very, very bad or limiting beliefs regarding that SP. And I gave her some homework to try to flip those thoughts when they come up, like how she wants to be viewed from him and men in general. So she had some self-concept homework and also like specific affirmation homework. And then we met the next time, and she was like spiraling. She had just found out that her SP was dating someone from his social media. She was stalking sometimes his social media, and found out in his Instagram story and in hers that they both went on a date. So guys, this is a very crucial point, and it was also a very crucial point in her story. You have, when you find out like things like that, it's just, first of all, feedback, and it's like manifested in the 3D, so it's kind of dead, you know. What's really important is what you do and what you think from there on. You don't even have to lift a finger, and I mean, you can confront the person and get maybe another kind of feedback, but in her situation, I didn't recommend that. And she didn't face like the SP, like asking him, oh, are you dating someone, or why are you not replying? So she was very like determined to make this work for her, because I told you, you have two ways to go. Even you go back like to the old story, being the victim in your own life, in your own love story, or this is the way that I recommend, and you can totally make this work if you persist and if you hop on a good mental diet. You can decide how the story from this point on will continue to go on. Like, for example, even if he goes out with 10 other women, or especially with that girl you found out, she will only show him like, you are irreplaceable, you are number one, he only wants a relationship with you, and that you're it, you know. You don't have to worry. Even you could throw him onto other women and he would come running back, if this is your assumption, and if you start persisting in it and start seeing yourself as the best thing walking around on this planet, you know. And she was a little bit like, first, oh, okay, how to put this into practice, but she said, okay, I will start doing this also with the scripting. And she texted me like 2 or 3 days after we met, and she was in a stable state. She also told me like sometimes she would a little bit like overthink, or get a little bit emotional, or worrying, what is he doing? Is he thinking about me? Is he talking to her or being again with her? And what she would do, like snap herself out of it and go back to the affirmations and the plan we made for her. So 5 days later, she texts me that he was calling her, and she was busy at work and she couldn't pick up the phone first. And when she saw her phone like 3 hours later, she had like 3 missed calls, 4 messages of him. And he was really saying that he wants to see her, and that he took some time for himself and realized that she was the kind of girl he wants to be in a committed relationship with. And she was really first not even believing her own results, but she was so happy, and she had like the first success for her, for knowing that this stuff works, and you don't have to look for stars to align, or like any horoscopes or tarot cards. And she realized how powerful she is, and every one of you guys are. And yes, that was a kind of my success story, or a part of the success story. It went even beyond that part of being in a committed relationship. And yes, everyone can do this too.
I know, right? You know, I just love that. I love that. And, you know, I can relate to the tarot card thing. So when I was a lot younger, my girlfriend, my best friend, was like totally into tarot cards, right? And we do the tarot cards all the time. And I remember, you know, this is back when I was like in my teens, and I think, you know, oh, something bad's going to happen. And then, of course, I didn't realize at the time, but then I would create that actually happening. And then as I got older and I was learning this, you know, and I was really good at it, I was actually and I actually had Create Your Future started at that point. I was networking, and I was at this networking event, and I met this wonderful lady, and she's a tarot card reader. And we'd actually ended up becoming friends, because I thought she was a really great person. And so one day she was like, she was like, well, I want to read your tarot cards. I want to read your cards. And I was like, okay. And so she's like, cut your deck and put your intention into it. And I was like, okay. So I cut the deck like 3 times. I put my intention into it. And she says, I'm going to draw 4 cards. or 3 cards, she said. And I said, okay. And then I thought to myself, I intend for the card to say my business is going to be successful. I intend for the card to say that I'm going to get in a relationship. And I intend for the card to say that I'm going to be financially secure for the rest of my life. And then so she turned around and she took out the cards and she put 1 out, 2 out, 3 out. She flipped one over. You're going to be in a relationship. She flipped another one over. You're going to be financially secure. She flipped another one over. Your business is going to be successful this year. And all 3 of those things came true, not because the card said it, but because I intended it. And then I realized, we started playing around a bit more, that whatever I intended would show up in the cards. And I'm like, of course it did. Everyone's me pushed out. Those cards are me pushed out. That person is me pushed out. Right? A psychic will be good if you think they're going to be good. But if you think they're going to be bad and they're not going to tell you the truth, they're going to be bad. If you're projecting, say, for instance, like a lot of negative thoughts about your relationship, they're probably going to reflect that back if you don't have a story about them. And then but the part where we give our power away and become a victim is when we think what they said is actually true. It's not. It's just a reflection of our assumptions, our thoughts, or our beliefs at that time. And they can be totally changed, you know? So yeah, I think tarot cards are fun to play with, and that's about as far as it goes. It's basically like the same as I play with cards. I play crazy 8s, and I'll intend that I get a really good hand, and then I'll intend what the other person plays, and I'll win the game every single time. It's no different than that. We're constantly influencing everything because our thoughts transmit to everything and everyone. So there's nobody out there that's going to tell you, hey, this is how your future is going to be, or this is what's going on, because you can accept it as true, or you can say, no, you know what, I'm not accepting that as true. And then create the reality that you want. It's only a reflection. Everything you see in your 3D reality is a reflection of your previous thoughts, or your, you know, current thoughts, meaning a second ago. You know what I mean? So it's all just old news. It's all old news. It's already, it's manifested. It's done. We can start fresh because everything is up here first. You know what I mean? So also, I really love the point where, you know, we talked about in your story, Christina, about confronting people. I did that with Andrew in my relationship when I wanted to move in with him and he didn't want to move in with me. And I said, why don't you want to move in with me? And, you know, and he was like, and I was crying and he was like, well, he's like, I don't want to be in a relationship again. And then in that moment, I was almost like, fine, then leave. And I thought, okay, am I going to stomp off and be like, I'm not going to be with you until you want to live with me? But then I thought, wait a minute, you know what, do I want the relationship or do I want him? But I got valuable feedback from that confrontation. I got the feedback that he was previously married and didn't want to be in another relationship. And I'm like, that's my block. So I use that constructively. But I would, you know, I would never suggest it because it pushes the person away. But if you want to know what your blocks are, they're the ones that are going to tell you, because they're the ones like, hey, you put this Post-it note on me. Okay. You know, this is why I don't want it. Right. But you know, but it does push the person away. So it's got to be used constructively if anybody does want to actually find out what their block is, to have that, you know, relationship talk. Because really, if you thought they wanted to live with you, if I thought Andrew wanted to live with me, I wouldn't have had that talk of why don't you want to live with me? You know what I mean? Because it all starts up in here. Me having that talk with him was just basically reacting to my reality. And in a sense, it was pushing him away because he says, do you want me to leave? And then I came to my senses in that moment and I said, no, I don't want you to leave. I just love being with you. And if you're not ready to live with me, then that's fine. You know, and it's about, once I accepted it, he was like, and he'll even tell you this. He's like, oh my God, you know what? She doesn't, I can't have her whenever. She's okay with this. That's no good. And then he ended up committing 5 days later. Right. So.
Yeah, that's true. And I think by you accepting it, you released also the resistance you had at this topic from moving in. And what I also say is, like, you can't mess anything up, even if you confront the person, even if you fight. I know from my SP, I say, or I intend also, and develop this assumption that every fight brings us closer together, or every disagreement, or we can fight more than 100 times. He will even want me more. And people will really reflect that back. They're just you pushed out, like we say. And any feedback is always good if you don't know where you stand with a person, but you can do this also by not confronting the person, by being even in no contact, like my client was for some days, you know. She officially didn't knew that there was a third party, and even if there would be 10 third parties, she can all manifest them away by knowing she's number one, and all these women reflect just back that he wants to be with her, or show him that he wants to be with her, you know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's, it's absolutely amazing, the thought transmission, and with the fights, I the same thing. Every fight brings us closer together. And, I also intend that Andrew is very forgiving and understanding. So something happened the other day, right? He said something, we were about to get into a scrap, and I reacted. So he was starting to react to me, and then I was like, no, he's very forgiving and understanding. And he always apologizes. And then immediately he's like, oh, I'm sorry for snapping at you. I know you were just reacting. And I was like, yeah, pen drop. I'm like, it's okay. It's about, creating that person, reflects that back. And it's really that simple. It's like, but you do have to like let go of the anger and annoyance in that moment. Like, that's so incredibly important. If you're making that intention that, they're going to apologize and be forgiving, but you're angry and annoyed at them, you're still, that anger and annoyance are caused by thoughts, and that thought is creating that feeling. It'll put a barrier, right? So in those moments, you got to take a deep breath and go, and just let it go. The anger and annoyance, go, okay, look, I created this. I don't want to fight, and be sincere about it, like within yourself, right? And then, when you're sincere about it within yourself, because you just let go of the anger. You're just like, okay, I don't want to fight. I really don't want to fight. Like, I don't have energy for this today. I intend, that they're forgiving and understanding, because once you let go of that anger, and they're going to let go of the anger. But if you're holding the anger, your intentions, the ones of, basically getting them to forgive you or, apologize, they're just going to bounce back to you, because you've got that wall, right? Because you've got thoughts that are making you angry. So you can even say things like, I intend to be calm. I intend to feel good. I intend to let go of this anger and to resolve this, right? So you have to feel it within you, right? And so maybe you need to change some thoughts about how the fight started, but you taking responsibility in here doesn't mean you have to take responsibility verbally. I just take responsibility because what'll happen is, okay, I say, come downstairs, and Andrew like makes a noise, and I'm like, oh my God, he's in a bad mood. And then all of a sudden he's in a bad mood. Now, am I supposed to verbally say, okay, I am so sorry, it's my fault you're in a bad mood? No, I take responsibility going, oh, I just thought he was in a bad mood, and guess what he is? Okay, I intend he's in a good mood. And that's how we take responsibility. And then I intend he apologizes, then he'll apologize. So it's not even about going, oh, Andrew, verbally, I know you're in a bad mood because I just thought it. It's all my fault. No. I just take responsibility up here in my own thoughts. And taking that responsibility helps me not to be angry anymore. Right?
That's also true. And that shows that you are the God of your reality, and that you are the operant power and the creator. Because if you stay in victim mode, or in the state of I'm not having what I want, you would be still waiting on that apology, or the person changing. So you have to go some steps further already and see the person, how you want them to show up, and already be forgiven, because you release any resistance, and clear the way that this apology, even if you don't need it anymore, can come to you.
Exactly. So I think we're going to change the title to How to Get Rid of the Third Party and Manifest an Apology. You guys got 2 for 1 in this video. Well, it just kind of went that way. But you know what, guys? I mean, I intend that everybody watches this video and you guys get something out of it, and you create something in your life with your relationship. You get some movement that you're proud of and you're happy and you're excited for. And I intend you guys get rid of those third parties and get the relationship that you want, because you guys all deserve it. And we get up every morning and, do this, make these videos to help you guys, because we know you can do it. You guys are powerful, and we intend that you guys have everything that you want, and every day is rainbows and lollipops and sunshine for you. So thank you so much for being here today, Christina.
Thank you for having me.
And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.